closing statement for Coach Kim Caldwell and then questions to follow.
Yeah, again, long time no see. Just had one day of practice since the last time we saw you. It was a decent practice. We were off on Sunday, and so we have a very, very nice break here where we can have a week of practice uninterrupted without games, and I think we need this week of practice. And so we're just going to continue to fine tune things and work on our team chemistry and hopefully finish the non-conference season or part of our schedule right.
Same thing I asked Abby. How do you make sure that this victory doesn't turn into maybe a defeat down the road, getting overconfident or just enjoying this one a little too much?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't watched the film because I figured that they had been told how good they were, and we're gonna watch it tomorrow. And it's not all great by any means. We hit shots and we played hard, but there's still a lot of learning and teaching points to come out of the film, and so we're just gonna treat it like any other game.
Going into December, still a lot of season left.
Yeah.
Have you felt kind of a turn in kind of how you want things to look as far as culture and on-court production goes?
It right now it kind of feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You feel like you're making some progress, and then we get punched and we don't respond the way I think we should. And so I think it's just going to be an all season long thing. As soon as I take a breath and think, there it is, it's not there. And so we're just going to keep our foot on the gas as a coaching staff and just hammer it home no matter what. I mean, if we're undefeated or we haven't won a game, we're just every single thing that we see that doesn't fit our culture and is not championship level standard, we're going to try to nip it in the butt.
Danny mentioned a few minutes ago he had to send a message to some players. You kind of doing that too?
I think just here and there, I don't think I've done a great job consistently. I will take a full accountability. I thought we were going to be good, and I coached them that way, and I think that that's hurting our team now, and so I think I need to be tighter on them and not just let things slide because I think we have the talent, because that's not working for us, and so trying to tighten things back up a little bit and just making sure doing things I should have done in July.
What does that look like? Maybe a little bit more specific.
We have a play in practice where the ball's going out of bounds and we don't hustle after it. We get frustrated with turnover and we don't all come together and high five. We get beat and we don't sprint back and try to get the back tip. Just finishing the play. Really more effort-based things, to me, have cost us a couple games because the way we play, we're going to go for a steal early. If we don't get it, we don't just get to stop playing. We have to sprint back and we have to sit down and guard, or we have to sprint back and try to get a back tip. And there's a lot of scramble situations in our games and fighting through the scramble situations as opposed to throwing our hands up and wondering who missed the play. It just keep playing. And I've seen a lot of that in our games, and it's 100% because I've let it slide.
Feel more beneficial after a tough loss or a big win? Or do you just pinpoint particular parts of a game to where?
I try to keep them consistent. It's way easier to teach the bad on a winning film than it is on a losing film, but sometimes you need a losing film. Hey, I told you this was going to cost us a game. Here it is. And so we try to keep our film consistent. We'll look at the offensive rebounds giving up, our turnovers, the turnovers we forced, our missed defensive possessions, and then our bad shot selection, and then we'll try to end on something good. And we pretty much keep that consistent in every film.
If somebody told you you beat Florida and your leading scorer wouldn't play, what would you have said?
I wouldn't have believed them, especially with everything that has been just the way the season has looked so far. It was not – our team was really locked in going into that game. They had a different energy about them, and so we have to find a way to keep that energy no matter who we're playing, whether we're on the road or we're at home.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Any questions for Abby?
How did it feel after that performance against a top team like that?
Yeah, felt really nice, obviously. Just glad we got the win as a team. We really needed it, so feel good about it all.
Now, how do you take a win like that and make sure that that win doesn't turn into a defeat the next game, overconfidence? Because everyone's excited about that.
Yeah.
It's a top win, but you got to move on.
Yeah, I've said that before, actually. I was talking to someone back home, and I was like, it's a dangerous win because, we could either get complacent and then just come out like we have been in previous games, or we can use it to really build on and have momentum for the rest of the season. So hopefully it goes that way and not the other way, but I think I have confidence in this group, and I think that we will use it and build on it throughout the rest of the season.
So you've been the voice in the locker room.
I don't know. I can just normally feel the energy and stuff. I say things when I need to, but if that needs done, then I'll make it happen.
You do a double take when you realize they didn't score for the final 3:30.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it until it was brought up afterwards, but that's just a testament to our defense. We were able to sit down in the half court and get stops, so I think that's really important. It's something we've struggled with and we've worked on, we've emphasized in practice. So to be able to get it done, especially against a really good school like that, it's definitely a good sign for us moving forward.
Says something you were able to shake off Moorhead and beat Florida. What's that tell you about this team?
Yeah, tells me a lot, and I don't think all of that's necessarily good, but I did say this after the game. I think sometimes we maybe play down to our opponents, and I'm not saying Moorhead's not a good team, but I just think we knew Florida was a good team. We knew we'd all have to come ready to play, and that not just one person could come ready to play, but everyone as a team we'd have to, and you could just feel it. Our huddles were tighter. We were giving more high fives. Our energy was up the whole game. No matter what the score was, we always felt like we were still in the game.
Coach has talked about how it takes time to develop a winning culture, and have you kind of seen that start to develop, over the course of the season?
Yeah, I agree with her. It definitely takes time, especially her being new and just coming in and setting her pace of play and her culture and her style. But I think, as we've early on in the season, but I think we're getting there. There's always going to be a learning curve with the new system and things like that. But I think we all want to win. We've all been a part of a winning program, whether that be a lower level or a higher level. So we kind of know what that feels like. So I think we just all need to be on the same page. And, as we go further into the season, I really do think that we'll buy into that.
It's not just the system. You get a lot of new players, too. How has that gone, trying to get everybody to blend?
Yeah, I think that's just college basketball nowadays. You're always going to have a new team every year, probably with a good bit of new players. But it did take a while. We've been here since the summer, so I think we're starting to get the hang of how each other play. But you never really know until you're in a game scenario, and we've only had a few of those. So I think that's only going to grow as well, the more games we play.
Does it help to have a win like that? So now when you go back and look at it, this is what Coach is talking about. This is what happens when you do this. Has that been so far maybe beneficial?
Yeah, I think definitely. We haven't watched the film on this game. I imagine that we will at some point, but just playing in it and not watching it back yet, you can just tell how different things were. Like I already said, the energy and just us, that feeds into us hitting shots and just being there for each other. If someone has a bad moment, just picking them up and on to the next. So I think that this is a big win for us for many different reasons, and that being one.
Calendar just turned to December. You got a long ways to go too still.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to get this kind of win early. We dropped some we probably shouldn't have, but to bounce back and get this one is really big for us.
Bree, obviously her mom passes away, and one game later she's back out there. That's got to say a lot about her. And what did you guys do to pick her up?
Yeah, can't say enough about her. That's a tough individual. She also played the Point Park game after that happened, so I don't know how many people could go out there and do that. So that's a testament to her and the kind of person she is, and just her really putting the team first, honestly, and just us doing whatever we could to help her. She's not the type of person who wants a lot of attention from it, but that has to be tough on anyone. So we just try to be there for her, and she came out and played a heck of a game on Saturday. We really needed her, and you can tell, when she's playing well, our team's playing differently.
Anything else? Great. Thank you, Abby.
All right, thanks.